You are the only person that can get in your own damn way. And the sooner you realize this, the hell of a lot easier this will all get. This whole journey is about you. It's not about anybody else. It's not about your damn specific person. Everyone seems to think, once I change them, you're not changing them. You're changing you. You're getting out of your own damn way and out of your own pity party. I get it. When you're in the state and it appears like you've been doing everything right, but in reality you haven't, because a lot of people, when you feel exhausted or tired, you are not manifesting correctly. This is not meant to be a very trying thing. It's supposed to be fun and light. It's supposed to be as easy as walking into another room, right? So let's say you're trying to think about your specific person and you're sitting there and you're like, love assumptions bullshit. She's not here yet. What the fuck? It's been 6 months. Whatever, right? You're thinking this in your mind. The moment you catch yourself thinking that, you would be like, no, this is working. I'm fucking amazing at this. This is easy as shit. And she's crazy in love with me. And we have the best relationship now. And we are so incredibly happy living together in Hawaii. We're just saying hypothetically, right? And you would persist in that story anytime you would think about her. That's all you need to do. That's what living in the end is. And at some point, you're going to start to feel better when you entertain that story. But this isn't about trying to force it. It's about redirecting your mind. And in that moment, when you feel frustrated and like it's not working, you allow yourself to experience that too. You don't fight it. You don't get mad at it. You give it grace. You allow it to be. And while I'll admit that sometimes you're going to get frustrated and you're going to get mad and you're going to get annoyed, you got to catch yourself and just be like, no, that's the old story. That's the old me that forgets who they are from time to time. Listen, I see this on the daily. I've been coaching people for over 4 or 5 years now, and I've been doing this like at high volume for over 2 years. And anytime I see someone telling me, I've been living from the wish fulfilled, I've been living in the end, I've been acting as if, but, and, then, or they add something afterwards, then I know they haven't been living in the end. That just means that you believe you're in your circumstances more than you actually do your end result. Because you probably have some hangups about manifestation, or maybe about your specific person, or maybe about your abilities to do it in the first place. Maybe you've been doing this from a wishful thinking, like, oh, I'll give it a try and just see how it goes. I see people do that all the time in the comments. That's not usually the type of attitude that's going to get you what you want. Unless you're just like, wow, this is like fun to do. Let's see if maybe this works. That's a little bit different. But if you're doing it like, oh, let's see if I could prove them wrong, or let me see if I could actually make this happen. When you're coming from like a very weary type of attitude or state, you're not going to get good results, because this is just not how it works. Listen, when people finally get to the wish fulfilled and finally get what they want, it's usually one of like 3 or 4 ways, okay? Some people get their manifestation because honestly, they get sick of this journey and they just give up, and then it shows up. Or they get sick of their own shit, which I'm assuming this is where you're at, and this is where you're supposed to persist and choose something different. People get really frustrated of like not seeing their manifestation come in, or just get sick of their own story. This has happened to me too on certain things that I've had attachment to. I'm just like, what am I doing? I know better. Why am I entertaining these stupid stories? And then I choose to live in the end and persist. And usually when I do that, or have done that in the past, shit comes super fast for me. But I don't have to do that as much anymore, because I have so much faith in the law, because I've been doing this so long now. And that doesn't mean I don't trip up from time to time. Of course I do. I'm human. We all do. But eventually you'll get to this point where you'll catch yourself in some bullshit and you're like, I know better. This is mine. And you just make that choice, and you don't even really have to persist. You just have to refocus, and then it shows up. Like literally, I'm like so confident now that it's just like this, me standing like still. Like, have you ever heard of the proverb? I think it's in the Bible. Be still and know that I am God. That's usually how I am now. Like the other day when I got pulled over, the video where I explained how I got out of a $500 ticket, even though I was giving this cop like nasty attitude because they were stressing me out and I was annoyed. Like, I didn't freaking know they were going to pull me over something so minute. But regardless of the point, this cop wanted to give me a freaking ticket at first, but I stood solid. I'm like, nope, they're not giving me a ticket and they're going to let me go. Like, I just thought it once, stood in it, and they let me go. It all worked out. It had its own bridge of incidents in the moment, which only lasted about like 10 minutes max. And I got to leave scotch-free without paying, like, honestly, probably $500 in like fines plus court fees, which would have cost me like $600 or $700. Here in Crooked County, things are very expensive. This gets easier with time, but you have to be real about where your mind is at. A lot of people are super delusional and being like, I'm living in the end. And then they go, I don't know, check their SP social media or start stalking the third party again, driving past their house or complaining to everyone what an asshole he is, or forgetting who they truly are and then talking about how men or women or people are a certain way, or complaining about the government or the fact that they haven't heard from that hiring manager. They said they would contact them in 72 hours and now it's been 2 weeks and I haven't heard anything and I'm checking my email. Moral of the story is, this was never about changing your specific person. This was about changing you so they could change, because they are only reflecting who you are currently being in this moment. This is why we don't manifest what we want. We manifest what we are. And this is why we must become it first in order to see it. It's not about, I'll believe it when I see it. It's, you will see it when you finally believe it.